Our first topic is about a mother who recently went viral on TikTok for a very unique parenting hack that had other users up in arms. Check it out.
Parenting hack. Want to teach your kids the value of money? Here's how I do it.
Every week, my daughter has a list of chores. If those chores are completed daily, she will get $7 at the end of the week. She is then required to pay her bills for living in the house. $1 for food, water, electric, internet, and rent. So in total, she pays $5 for bills. She has $2 left over, which she can keep and save or spend. I then take that $5 and I put it into a savings for her, so that when she turns 18, she can learn that she made all that money on her own and know the value of money.
Well, Deborah, I don't hate it. I mean, it is a good teaching lesson. I mean, her child's only 7 years old. And thank goodness my kids grew up in a different era. I know you have teenagers. Mine, you know, I have the two docs that are in the 30s.
Who probably pay their own bills now.
I occasionally help out. No, but thank goodness they grew up. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have credit cards to give your kids, no social media. So it was a different time.
But I think that cell phones are actually a great way to teach kids what this mom wants to teach. Look, let's be honest. All this girl knows is she does all of her chores and she gets to keep $2. She's not really thinking each week about paying her bills. But if you say to a kid, and I do this with my kids, I say, you don't have to pay any bills, but if you want your own cell phone, you have to pay a third of the bill. Your dad and I pay a third each because we also want you to be connected. But if you don't want a cell phone, no problem. And then they get to choose. Do they want that $10 a month in their pocket, or do they want to give it up and have a phone? And that's what learning to pay bills is about. It's that decision-making process.
I love that. So it's a teaching lesson, making decisions, forcing them to think about it.
I love that this mom really wants to think about what's my daughter learning about the money she earns. It's not just all hers free and clear, because the world doesn't work like this. But I'll tell you what, I don't agree with paying for chores, because then, look, my kids have to clean the bathroom, and some weeks, I have 4 sons. There's not enough money in the world to pay for that job. If I was paying them, they could quit. And we do chores because we're a member of a household, because we have to contribute. If we get paid for that, it feels like, oh, I guess when I'm an adult, I mean, do you get paid to take out your garbage? I don't get paid to take out mine.
I'm not on an allowance.
Right, exactly. And so I want parents to do both, to give chores so you learn how to contribute, keep your home the way it needs to be, and give allowance so that you can mess up with money when it's in the $7 range and not the credit card mess up your credit score range.
Okay, good tips for the parents. Okay, according to an allowance tracking app in 2019, children raked in an average of $499 a year. So, Dr. G, as a mom, what do you think about giving an allowance like that?
I think it really just depends on what's affordable to you and seems reasonable. You know, what are you going to let your child spend, and about how much is that going to be? And how do you break it up? I'm super mean. I give my kids an allowance based on their age, but they have to put 10% to donate, and a third to spend, a third to save, and a third to invest.
Well, look, you're not being mean. You're trying to.
I'm sorry, that was their feedback, not really my opinion.
But as you've said it on the show a number of times, that the kids want discipline. Kids want direction to a certain degree.
I think they need it and occasionally want it.